Absolutely, we've done a lot of things.
And those of you who are waiting for me, apologies, but you used the time whilst you were waiting to brush up on the verse that we chanted last time. so you remember the verse, because it would be nice to start off the session by chanting that verse together and then have a moment of quiet before we begin. And because you've been chanting it every day, it should be very
It should be easy.
easy, very easy by now. So we have, I chant, then you respond. Samadosha,
Samadosha,
samagnischa,
Samagnischa,
samadhator,
Samadhatur,
malah kriya,
Malakriya,
prasannatmendriya manah,
Prasannatmendriyanah,
svastha,
Swastha,
ityabhidhiyate,
Ityabhidhiyate,
ityabhidhiyate.
Ityabhidhiyate.
And now we chant it together. Samadosha, samagnischa, samadhator malah kriya, prasannatmendriya manah, svastha ityabhidhiyate. One more time. Samadosha, samagnischa, samadhator malah kriya, prasannatmendriya manah, svastha ityabhidhiyate. So in this one moment we can't solve the problems of all of the physical body, of the tissues and of the excretory functions. We can't solve that right now if there's any problems. But what we can do is address another part of that verse, and we can look at the state of ourselves, Atman, the state of our manas, our mind. So we can deal with two parts of that verse right now in this moment. So we can begin to have a sense of who is it sitting in this chair hearing these words, and who is it speaking these words. How is it possible that I can hear? How is it possible I can see? How is it possible that I can sense my feet on the floor? I can sense my sitting bones on the chair, and I can sense the whole outline of this body. I can become aware of the outer edges of this whole instrument. And how is that possible? And I can sense the touch of the clothes on my skin and the weight of this body on the chair. And I have some sense of how I am. The person you are, how are you? And you can just ask yourself, how am I? In the physical sense. And what do I need right now? And then, what is it behind all that, observing this? And we can just close our eyes before we start this Sanskrit session. And be at home for a little while as the observer of it all. And really be okay with just being and listening, because it is from this quiet that all sound that we're about to make will arise. and we sound together. Paramatmane Namaha. Try it once more. Paramatmane Namaha. Atta. Swagatam Pratamam Sanskritam Bharga. So welcome to your first Sanskrit class in the Ayurveda Institute. Adya Samskrita Aksharani Varnaha cha Svadhyayishyavaha. Today we will study the sounds, the alphabet of the language of Samskrita. So what is the language we're studying today? It is Samskrita. And what does Samskrita mean? Krita, giving you the word creation. Krit, created, and sam, whole, perfect. So why is this language called Samskrita? One reason is because it's remained unchanged since at least, remember when Dr. Deepika was telling you about the dates of the Vedas, and no one can ever know, so even it could be 9000 BC, but we can say at least 2000 BC. Sanskrit language has remained unchanged. Why? Because it was codified, and there was a whole series of rules for classical Sanskrit that were written by this great grammarian called Parnini. Let's sound his name, because it's not panini that you eat. Parnini. So we have to, this is a classic example of how with the language of Samskrita, it's really important where you emphasize the words, where you put the stress, and this will come up in so many Ayurvedic terminology, so much of that, because if you put the emphasis on the wrong part, you'll be saying a different word. So, and because when we're speaking Sanskrit, we've got to get the longs and shorts and the tongue in the right place. So that's what we're sorting out today, just getting that established. So this great grammarian was called Parnini. Parnini. So we call someone a ninny in English, like, oh, you ninny. But in fact, that's part of the name of a great sage. So remember, if anyone's called you that, they've actually complimented you. Although, did they say ninny? No, because their n has to be tongue back and up. Practice. Ninny. Ninny. Yeah, ninny. This is just to get you used to the subtleties of the sound. Then you add Parnini. Burnel. Perfect from over here. Oh, it must be you. It must be. And then now we need to just speak about the text that the language Sanskrita is written in, because this book that you have, it's got some Roman script in, but it's mainly in a script called Devanagari. Let's sound that together. Devanagari. In Hindi, Devnagari, but in Sanskrita, Devanagari. That's it, and you've got to get your emphasis right, because I have some students that they're so English, they're like, hey, are we going to do Dave and Gary today? But it's not Dave and Gary. You've got to make, although you can use that to help you remember it, because I loved it so much, but you've got to remember Devanagari. So the emphasis is completely different. So what does that mean? Devanagari. Deva, from the root div. And some of you who are from certain places, like especially my relatives up north, they might say, oh, you're such a div. And again, that's an insult, isn't it? He's a spiv or a div. But what does the root div mean in Sanskrit? It gives you the word Devanagari. Div means divine. Exactly, same give in English, divine. So if anyone's ever called you a div before, they've actually complimented you. You're divine. Div, deva, nagari, city or place. So the script is named place of the divine, a divine place. Why? You could say that whoever or however that script got named, the people really loved Sanskrit so much that they sensed that it had the capacity to take you to the place of the divine through the learning of it. But that would only be up for you to decide, through learning it, through enjoying the experience of it, whether that's true. So obviously all this script, Devanagari in Sanskrit, and that's the same script as Hindi is in. So by learning Sanskrit, you're also able to read Hindi, and vice versa. If you can already read Hindi, you'll already be able to read all of this absolutely fine, with a few exceptions. There's about 10% variation on the script. But at least it means when you go anywhere in North India, if you're not able to read the script at the moment, you'll be able to read all the signs and you'll begin to feel, it's not so far away, doesn't seem so foreign. So we're going to start off today with learning the Varna, the Aksharani, the alphabet first. And we're going to begin with learning the Swara. Let's sound that. Swaraha, which are the vowels, literally those which shine by themselves. And then I'll show you how they fit in this book. So if you're looking at that at home, you can figure it out. But why are the Swara called those which shine by themselves? Because it's all logical, these names. So I'm just going to say that sentence with only vowels. I just said it's all logical, these names. I'm just going to say that sentence with vowels only. So why now swap. Can I say that sentence I just said with only consonants? And then I can't. But I can make the sounds with vowels, you see? So therefore vowels are not only integral to our speech patterns in all languages, but it's how you can sense accents as well, because some languages rather use more open vowels than others. So if you wanted to study sound, you can begin to hear which languages have lots of open vowels and which languages close the vowels off. Oh no, that's an accent, not a language, but you know, like which, you can still sense which languages close the vowels, and that's what change the way you speak, you see? So what do vowels represent in Sanskrit? If they are that which just shines alone, what are they attempting to take us closer towards in ourselves? I keep looking at you, but I don't mean to. But they're attempting to take us towards that which shines alone with no support in us. And we don't have to name whatever that is, but that's what, through the sounding or the hearing of those, that's a sort of a physical manifestation of that which shines alone, which needs no support in us. These vowel sounds are a representation of that. So let's first learn to sound them, then learn what they look like, and then learn to read them. And I know some of you are visual learners, but purely I have to be faithful to the Samskrita Bhasha, the language of Sanskrit, and the script of Sanskrit is completely immaterial. Script, according to Sanskrit literature and the Vedic tradition, books come secondary. The knowledge just must be here, and then no need for books. So it's just to honour that oral tradition, we'll start with the hearing and then we'll write it. So we start with the vowels. What would you think the first vowel of the Sanskrit alphabet is exactly, not A like in English. It's written the same as the A as the English, but you sound the as in upwards, cut, bus, Then that's one short measure. Now double it. What do you have? That's it. Now we're going to move through the mouth and just gently go let it widen a little bit, and the next one is E. E. And the tongue moves a tiny bit. E. E. Notice what part of the mouth the tongue touches as you move your mouth from to E. 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 What part of the mouth is it touching? E. E. It doesn't have to touch the teeth to make the E. E. I see, you mean that side of the teeth. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, you're right, touching those. Otherwise you'll have to close it in. But yeah, it is touching the side teeth. The palate inside. Yeah. The palate. So therefore, where is the tongue? It's just resting back. Nothing. So is throat. Then E, palate. E. Now lips forward. Make your lips forward, and what vowel comes? Oo. 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 That's the lips. E, oo. Now we have the first three vowels of the Sanskrit alphabet. Now make each one short and long. E, E, oo, oo. That's it. E, E, oo, oo. Now we have tongue a little bit back and up. Re. Re. That's it. Re. So it's not like in English, re, like we say revise or like read. It's a bit back and up. Re. Re. That's it. Now make a long form, which is hardly ever found, but still. Re. Re. Now, we won't sound this one when we learn the alphabet, but I'll just tell you about it. The only reason we won't sound it is because it doesn't really show up in any spoken or visible words, and definitely not in any of your Ayurveda vocabulary, but the sound is lr, lr, lr. That's it. And it's counted as a vowel because you're not actually having to actively use much of the explosive sounds. It's quite soft and it has that r attached. Lr, lr. That's it. So now we're going to go once more. E, E, oo, oo, r. Oh yes, and soon we'll show this on the board. On the, is it possible to show it on the PowerPoint? Or they have? Oh yes, please. That would be so good because then we don't need to write it. E, E, oo, oo, r. Then you have your long ones. A, na, I, O, ow. That's it. A, I, O, ow. A, I, O, ow. Perfect. So let's go from the beginning. E, E, oo, oo, r. A, I, O, ow. Now there's two more that are sometimes, when you learn it as a song, put in. It's That's it. It's a nasalized vowel and a breathalized vowel. You can relax at the end then. Yeah. So now we'll go through the whole set. E, E, oo, oo, r. A, I, O, ow. Yes. And for those of you who don't like singing, don't bother. As in, you don't have to worry is what I mean. But for those of you who don't mind and would find a song helpful. This song, hopefully you'll never forget that bit of the alphabet. So we're just learning vowels, and it's a, I, u, r, r. A, I, u, r. One more time. A, I, u, r. What's next? A, I, O, ow, ah. That's it. A, I, O, ow, ah. I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. You're lucky, because last year, remember we did the songs and they were super, super fast. They were like, ha, ha, because they were all from recordings from India. And she was like, and the music was going, like that. But this year we're soothing it a little bit so it doesn't freak you out. So we're going a bit slower. So and you can go to the fast ones later. Not that one, the one they have in the handout. That one, yes, please. So we're going to do that song once more, just to really clarify what is it we're learning right now, and what is the name for vowels in Sanskrita? Svara. Yes, svara. And these are healing sounds. They're the basis of seed mantras. Because when seed mantras develop, they have consonants, but the basis of them in their purest form is simply these vowels. That's the heart of them. A, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. A, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. A, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. A, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. One more time. A, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. A, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. A, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. A, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. What does this situation remind you of? What does it remind you of? Did you say school? Because it reminds me of Mary Poppins when she sits with the children and teaches them Doa Deer, but the Sanskrit version. You know, but it's really nice to just feel when you're learning a language that you're a child. That is an integral part of learning a language. Just be okay with mucking about and be okay with feeling like a naughty child, like one who doesn't care about authority and one who just wants to explore this whole thing, you know. So you can have that sort of freedom in you, especially with Sanskrit. So we'll go again just with the svara, and now we'll bring in the visualization, thanks Jeff, so that you can see the top line, how the sound you're saying, how it looks first in Roman script. We'll come to Devanagari script later, but it's really vital to get this system of transliteration firmly established in your understanding, so that when you see Sanskrit written in Roman script, you understand how to pronounce it, and when you understand how to pronounce it, it becomes more part of you, and also the meaning will become clearer. So we have the a, I, u, r, A, I, O, ow, ah. What do you notice about every letter with a line above it?
It's longer.
It's longer, exactly. It's double measure. What about the letters with the dot underneath it? What's that mean, apart from the and ah? So two of the letters with the dot underneath it. The two R's with the dot. What do you think the dot underneath means? Stronger would be the result of the pronunciation, because your tongue is going back and up. Retroflex, back and up, cerebral. that retroflex sound. With the and the the dots there, they don't mean that. They're exceptions to that rule. That's otherwise a common rule for always dots underneath. But and the dots are simply showing that is a nasal. It could be any nasal, but for now we're having and the the dot is just showing that it's not just like in English if you see AH, it's just isn't it? But this is showing that you vocalize that yes.
The E is so
E. Exactly. So even though in English you say I, in Sanskrit transliteration it's E. I is E. A is I is E, and U is U. So we should just get those distinctions. A is I, U, U. R is R. Back tongue back and up. Long one. Hardly ever found. And you won't ever have to use it. Then E is A. So if you think you'll forget, it's useful to write on your sheet underneath the sound, first one, A, which is a word like cup to remind you that it's a. And then underneath your I, it should be I, like sit. So you can remember I. E. Actually, sit's not a good one. E, like read. E, or read. Seat. Yes, that's a good one. Seat rather than sit. E. Ooh, like soup. Ooh. Lose. And then rip, but it's back and up. And then A as in say, I as in try, O as in home, ow as in ow. Ow, that hurt. Ow. And normal, like what shall I say next? And then as in you're just filled with a bit of ecstasy. Of some sort, you know. So now we go and sing that song once more to really establish the vowels. This song has 4 sections, so but they're all saying the same words. E, U, E, I, O, ow, section 1. E, U, E, I, O, ow, section 2. E, U, E, I, O, ow, that's 3. E, U, E, I, O, ow, one more time. E, U, E, I, O, ow, E, U, E, I, O, ow, E, U, E, I, O, E, U, E, I, O, very slowly, one last time. E, U, E, I, O, 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 I E U U R E I O O I E U U R E I O O I E U U R E I O O I E U U R E I O O I E U U R E I O O I E U U R E I O O Last round. I E U U R E I O O without looking. I E U U R E I O O Close eyes. I E U U R E I O O I E U U R E I O O You got it. And what do you notice about the qualities of vowel sounds? Can any of those sounds we just made cause any oral offence to anyone? It's impossible, isn't it? They're just not jarring. No matter what tune, you can't even make it jarring. The flow of those sounds is just nectorious, and that is the purpose of the vowels, nectar. That's for the ears, for the being. And you can use them, even if you didn't go any further with Sanskrit than this. That would be plenty to explore. You could spend a day, a week, a month with R. Likewise with E, with U, and be a sage yourself in the modern age and just explore what the qualities of those sounds are, none of them negative. So they're the vowels, and now just to satisfy you, in case some of you are thinking, right, but let's get on with it, I want to learn Sanskrit, and this still doesn't feel like you're learning anything. To satisfy those minds, which I'm sure there are none in here because you're very balanced, but just in case there are, we're going to please, hopefully, please those minds by learning how to write some of these sounds that we've just sounded. So we're going to learn how to write. Oh, and sorry, Jeff, I stood up because Dr. Deepika stands up all the way through, and I know that sometimes I stand up and sit like a jack in the box, so you know the video, it's hard to adjust, but I'll definitely be standing for a little while. Oh, you tell me what I'm writing, and it will help. That's it. Then, remember writing is ultimately unimportant, but for those of you who are calligraphers and love art, I'll show you the way to do that. But for now, we're just going to be doing purely shapes that enable you to read what these are. So all you're going to do is write the number 3. But you see it has a smaller top and a larger bottom, slightly, if you want proportion. And you just write the number 3 6 times. And the number 3 is a beautiful number because it contains like so much symbolism in it somehow, and it represents so much of our patterns in life, that number 3. And it's the first form of many of the vowels, that sort of shape. And then all we're going to do is add to that 3 a dash and a T. So all we did was add a dash and a T. Watch, to each 3, dash T, dash T, dash T, dash T, dash T, dash tea. And for tea drinkers, that should be nice and easy to remember. You just give a cup of tea to all your letters, and you can remember. So then you have the basis already of 6 Sanskrit sounds, all clear. So now we're just going to add little symbols to each one to make these sounds. So this sound is, what's this one again? We'd have to do nothing to that. That is 3-T already there, so that's sorted. Nothing you need to do. Then to this one we just need to make it longer, so you simply add line next door, and then that's become that. Then we're just going to add that same line there, and just there. So there's 3 lines in a row. That has nothing. Then the next 3 all have extra lines. And what's this one? Done. We don't need to do anything else to it. Now this next vowel is getting a bit bigger. Oh. So we just need to give it a hat or a flag. Oh. Then that's done. Then we add that same flag to the next one. You see, so we're just building blocks. They started like that. That started just on its own. Then we added lines. Then we added lines and flags, getting bigger and bigger as the sounds get bigger. O, ow. So we simply need to add another flag. And there you have tick. O, ow. Now you see this dot that we use to show that's a nasal, we just simply add that dot on top of the Sanskrit one, and then that's done. Then, final one, so we add 2 dots next door, instead of 1, 2. So now you can write these 6. O, ow, So, here's the rubber. Hands up, who of you could already read and write Devanagari? Because you were in year 1, so you can already read and write it. And you can already read and write it. Anyone else can already read and write Devanagari?
Can you just read it? Just because I know.
You know Hindi.
Yeah, but not like because I studied something.
Not because studied, but you can read it. And can you read it? No. And no one else. So now we're just going to make sure you learn this. So you did your 6 letters, you've written them down? Because there's no homework for Sanskrit. This is completely optional. It's just for you to relax and enjoy. But in the spirit of relaxing and enjoying, I'm just going to rub this off, and then you're going to try and write it. But write it where you can't see the one you just wrote. Just give it a go, because whilst I'm rubbing this off, it's always good practice. Oh, there it is. I've seen it. Thanks, Ajanta. So don't try not to look at the board. You're just having a go, and those of you at home can also just see if you can remember without looking at your original one. See if you can remember o, ow, and how to write it in Sanskrit. Thanks, Ajanta. Lovely. Sometimes it's easy, and sometimes it's. O, ow, Then, if you have your Sanskrit books, you could either with a pencil or with a pen, because these are just yours, and you don't worry about writing them. They're meant to be for real use, and they're easy to get. So if you circle in your books on page, well, it's just in the introduction. You see the first page, infant reader, second page, just that, third page, a list. We'll go through that. Fourth side, a list. Here, do you see? It's page 1, but page 1, the 1 isn't there, but you see this, if you can find this page, and then circle on that page the letters or the sounds that you have learnt to write already in Devanagari. Circle them. So you should be circling a, o, ow, ah. 6 sounds on that page where it says alphabet. So you can see your book. Have you circled that first one? A. You've circled that next one. A. E. E. U. 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 And you've circled that, all that bottom line. O. Ow. Ah. Yes? So that's clear. You would be able to now read and write all those 6 sounds. Okay. Now, we're not going to learn the others just yet, because before we learn them, we need to first have a sense of the whole alphabet, and I want to give you that sense before we go today. Otherwise we can get stuck with writing and not the whole sense of the alphabet. So I'm just going to tell Jeff I'm going to sit down again, so he's warned. So we're now going to cover the rest of the alphabet before we come back to more writing. So this alphabet, if we move this picture up a little bit, just a tiny bit, so we don't need to, that's a bit further, yeah, a bit further. There we go, perfect. So it's in different colours, just to show you that the alphabet is made up of different families, and each family lives in a place in your body, and it's completely logical. So the first family starts in the throat. That's the one at the top in dark blue, and it's called the Kanta. Let's sound that. Kanta. That means throat family. So all these letters are using guttural sounds. So we start off, I'll tell you the pattern for each family, and once you know the pattern, they're all the same. First sound, hard consonant, hard. Second, you simply add a breath to that, or h. Third, soft. Fourth, add a breath to it. And fifth, nasal. So every family has 5 sounds. Hard, with an aspirate, soft, with an aspirate, and then nasal. That's all you need to know. Every family has that 5 sounds. So we start with the first family, the throat. The first sound we can make with the throat, and it's interesting because in Russian there's an expression which is used to express when something's so yummy. A child says, or adults use it all the time too, but they can't even begin to describe how delicious it is. And it's not just food, it's something you take in with any sense, the eyes, ears, or feeling. And they go, aka. And it's just delicious. And that is the first sound of the Sanskrit alphabet. A is the first vowel, ka. And ka is the first consonant. So ka, throat, ka. That's it, nice and hard, no breath in there at all. Ka. Then add a breath to it, which is from the tummy. K. Yes, because it's not kh, k. Literally aspirated k. Then soften the k, g. G. It should feel nice and soft, like you're giving yourself a throat massage. G. G. Then aspirate it using the abdomen muscles to support that. Nice and strong. I should feel your energy. It can't. yes. It needs to be the Sanskrit language. You see, to pronounce it correctly requires yoga. What is yoga? It's where all your attention is in one place. Body and mind are one together. The body has to serve what your mind wants in the pronunciation of Sanskrit. If they're in separate places, the sound's going to come out funny. You have to align everything. You have to have discipline. So there's no room for wishy-wash, wishy-washiness. And I love being wishy-washy, so you can see how great it is for me. So you have this k, 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 g, 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 g. And then the nasal is also in the throat. And then you let it go with a vowel, because every Sanskrit consonant, even though one of them doesn't have it on there, but every Sanskrit consonant has an inherent vowel following it. That's it. Now let's sound that whole first family, which is the kanta. So we say atha kanta, atha kanta, k, k, g, g, ng, iti kanta, iti kanta. So we said, here's the throat family, k, k, g, g, ng. Finish with the throat family. So when I say atha kanta, you sound the throat family. Atha kanta.
G, 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 no.
What's the last one?
No.
No tongue to any roofs of mouths in this sound, just letting the back of the throat hold the sound, like you say, I am singing, or I am hunger, hunger, no tongue needed to go up. Iti kantaha, atha kantaha. Iti is bad to sit at the front, but excellent for your learning. Iti kantaha. Now we go to the next one, your next family in maroon, which resides. Where did we have to go from A to E? Palate.
The palate.
Yes, the tongue ended up touching hard and soft palate. So that maroon family are the palatal family, which in Sanskrit is atatalu. Atatalu. And we have ch, 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 j, 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 j. Keep that j with no ch in it. J. I can still hear ch, but keep saying loud because it's great. But make sure your j should not have any similarity to your ch. See, the ch is hard. It's got this sort of sharpness in it, ch. But j, soft, j, ch, j, ch. Yes. So we have ch, ch, like a sneeze. Ch, ch, j, j. So the j should feel like you literally go down. J, j. Think like it's almost stamping your foot. And then the nasal, at the very top, that maroon nasal, nya, nya. Really get into that nya. That's it. So I say atatalu, ch, ch, sundaram, beautiful. Ititalu, punah atatalu, ititalu. Kim prashna? Any questions? You know what? Someone once said to me, if there are no questions, it means the teacher's either been so clear that everything is just really clear, or the teacher's just baffled them so completely they're all confused. Ekam prashna.
The nya on the end, so it's like a. So the first one was like like where you said singing, so nya. The maroon line is the it's nya. Like is it N like NYA?
Yes, it's
right.
like NYA.
Okay.
Really good way to remember.
And that's because it's got the little
squiggle on
thing.
top.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they use that in Spanish, don't they? That squiggle. Señorita. Yeah. Exactly. Perfect. And you described the other one.
Yeah. The last. I still can't figure out how to pronounce it.
The last one in the Kanta family.
Yes.
As you said, remember it through singing, singer. She is a singer. Say like singer, but without the g. Because in English we never pronounce it anyway. You don't say singer. We say she's a singer. Singer. Say singer.
Singer.
Yes, and then take off the I. Ng.
But how in the word? How can you I wouldn't be able to distinguish the sound
From.
if you say a sentence with that. Yeah.
Give me a word with it. Have you heard any in Sanskrit with it?
No, but it's because it's quite hard to distinguish.
You can have ahankara. Where is it in that word? Ahankara.
The second part.
So sound that word with me.
Ahankara.
Yes. Can you hear that sound in there? There it is. But it doesn't have the vowel after it because it's squashed into a word. What's the word for limb? Anga. Anga. Which is the same as the word in English angle. Limbs are all at angles. So if you sound that word with me, anga, and you hear that sound in it. But with sounding the alphabet, there's no consonants with it. It's just, that is the consonant. Ng. On its own. Anga. Anga. Nga. Spashtam. That means all clear, and then you said it correct, and then you say spashtam. Anyone more? Or okay. Spashtam. So we've done the prathama, atha, kanta, ka, kha, ga, gha, nga, iti kanta. Dvitiya, atha, talu, cha, cha, ja, ja, nya, iti talu. Tritiya. Now, this family, this violet family, lives up towards the brain, so it's called the cerebral family. And it takes a bit of energy to sound. Because instead of just t, like in English, which you don't need any energy for, English is the lazy man's language. You can just be sitting and just sitting like this. But for Sanskrit, you've got to go, I have to find like a good place to be, because if I'm not in my body, the sound won't come. And then the tongue goes back and up to the roof of the mouth, t, t. But make sure to distinguish your t from d, because it's not d, it is definitely t. Yes. So de-anglicize any t. Sharp, back and up, t. Think of your body like a drum, like the sound, the soft beat of a tabla. It wouldn't be t, it would be t. T.
Not ta.
T.
Ta? Ta or ta?
Not the first one, your second one.
Ta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not t. 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 Tongue back and up. Yes, 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 I think that was the right one. Then aspirate it. T. Very good. Yes. T. That's it. Then Same with your d, nice and easy. D.
Yeah.
D. You can relax on the second sets because the first ones are the hard ones, hard consonants. The second are the soft d, and then aspirate d. And make your tongue back and up before you sound d. You should begin to feel your food being digested if it's being sounded with the correct amount of effort to begin with. Things should start moving. Then, tongue back and up. N. N. No, yeah. Not n. N. So now we have Atha Mordha. This is a cerebral family. Atha Mordha. T, t, d, d, n. Feel like you're playing the drum, which is your body. It's literally what's happening. T, t, d, d, n. That's it. Iti Mordha. Atha Mordha. T, t, d, d, n. Iti Mordha. Kim prashna? Na.
How would you spell the n? So the n is not n.
Then the
Da, ta, da, da, n.
yes, the tongue has to stay back and up for all of them. Na. The tongue doesn't need to move. Da, 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 na. Tongue doesn't need to come forward. It's backing up that whole way through. We do it once more, keeping that tongue back and up. Da, 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 na. That's it. Iti Mordha. Next one in blue, Neela, is a nice easy one. You can let the head rest, like the energy can come back, not so explosive. This is the dental one, so it's all the tongue touching the teeth. But the tongue goes toward the teeth like this. That's why you would say like Veda. The tongue like this, not Veda. Yes. So the tongue is there for the whole column, touching the teeth, the whole family. Atha danta. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Iti danta. Atha danta. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Iti danta. Atha danta. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Iti danta. That's nice and easy, isn't it? No problem for us. Then, the light blue, sky blue one, we have the alphabet's finally finished its journey. Started here, then it went here, then it went there, then it went here. It's going to finish its journey at the external most part of our face, apart from the tip of the nose, the lips. So this is the lips family, and we say Atha Oshtau. Atha Oshtau. You don't have to say that, but you can. You only for lesson purposes. P, p, b, b, m. P, p, b, b, m. Iti Oshtau. Atha Oshtau. P, p, b, b, m. Iti Oshtau. Kim prashna? Then we move to the red ones, which are semi-vowels. So they're in between vowels and consonants. They're called antastha, which means standing in between or standing within a group. So we have ya, ra, la, va. Ya, ra, la, va. And they're nice and easy, aren't they? And you recognize them if you have chakra studies and you've looked at the bija mantras. They are often the bija mantras from the semi-vowels. Ya, ra, la, va. Ya, ra, la, va. And then we have the green ones called the sibilants. And these green ones means the air is coming through us all the time as we sound them. But you see that first sibilant, it has a accent above it. See, those first three sibilants are S's, but one of them has an accent above it. I was just looking for the word for sibilants because I forgot it. And do you know what that accent above it makes it? Sh. Yes, exactly. Sh. The accent above. We'll have to come back to that. Sibilants. And you see the second S with the dot underneath it. What's the dot underneath mean? Yes. Backen up. So we say sh. 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 You use the same thing but you make it a sibilant, like sh, but make it backen up. Sh. Yes, exactly. Then the third S is just on its own, so you do nothing. S. S. And then finally, h. It's got the breathiness in it of those sibilants. So we have sh, sh, s, h. Sh, sh, s, h. That's it. Do you notice the effect of the sibilants? Each family has a sort of effect on the body, and the sibilants are quite heady because they're using breath and that hissing sound. It's quite a lot up here. Then you see this funny figure that's just on its own. You don't need to sound that as an official part of the alphabet. It's only there because it comes up in this book, and I wanted to put it in case you're doing some self-study and you're like, hey, what's this Gabriella didn't tell me about? So that's why it's there. And it is a L with a line underneath. This is quite rare and often used only in chanting rather than normal texts. In chanting or shlokas, Dr. Deepika was talking to you about, in verses, perhaps even in Ayurveda verses you might find it, but not really when you're learning beginners Sanskrit. So this is like a L, but you pronounce it almost with your tongue back and up, like R. Yeah, R. So that's why it can almost sound like a R when you're speaking it, but your tongue's going back and up. R. Yes, yeah. Not like L, R. R. But it's not R, but because of the way we move our tongue, it can sometimes sound like that. R. R. The tongue's curling back and up. R. R. Yeah. And then final three at the bottom in black. These are three very common conjunct consonant sounds, which means letters joined together. So you see the first one. What is that a combination of? You see that first KSA. Which family is the K from? Throat family. Which family is the other one, the second one from? From the cerebral family. You see that second one? Because the cerebral family is the tongue going back and up. Sh. It's not in the family on the board, but because it has the dot underneath it, that S, from the sibilants, it's part of the cerebral group. Anyone with the dot underneath, tongue goes back and up. Sh. So we've got K and then Sh. Put them together without any gap in the middle. Yes. Kr. Kr. Kr.
Sh.
Kr. 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 Yes. I'm picking on you, yeah, one more time.
Gush.
And then squash them.
Gush.
Squash together at once. With your sh is missing the k, but your kush is separating them. This is a great example. It's great to have someone to make an example. I'm really grateful because it really helps people. So it's not kush. Kush. It's like all at once, one after the other, but at the same time. Ever so yours is going kush, but I'm really being mean because it is almost right. But you've got to go. You basically got it. You got it. You got it. It's like you're sneezing. Kshu. Kshu. Yeah, it's so close. Then the next one, nice and easy. Tr. Tr. And the final one, pronounced many different ways depending on which tradition you're in. See, Vedic chants pronounce it gnya. Some people learn it nya. But for the purposes of studying Sanskrit here, right now, we're going to pronounce it nya. Because there is a j there and there is a nya. It's just so it doesn't get confusing. Nya. Nya. That's it. And sometimes the j just gets lost, so you just hear nya, but it's nya. That's it. So now we've covered all the families of the alphabet. All we need to do now is learn it. So that after today you go home knowing all the vowels, how to sound all the vowels, and you understand the sound of the English, how it translates. I, u, r, a, I, o, ow, ah. And the next thing we need to cover before you go home is that you can go home sounding the whole alphabet. Starting with the which family? Going to the palate. Going to the
Cerebral.
going to the
Dental.
going to the
Lips.
that's it. And then we add on semivowels, sibilants, and conjunct consonants. So that's our challenge for today. So let's just see if we can get going with this so that you have this in your system, because often people study Sanskrit and they still don't even know the alphabet. They can read it and write it, but the alphabet isn't that crazy, because if you studied English and could read and write, but someone said to you, can you say the alphabet? And you're like, no, I never learnt it. It would be crazy. You need the foundation to keep it steady. If you don't have the foundation, when you're beginning a language, so specifically for beginners, those of you who already have it, it will be a bit different, but for beginners, without the foundation, you could squash a lot of learning into a couple of years, but then if you go away for another 2 years and leave it, it's forgotten. But if the foundation is established, you can go away, take months off, and that won't be lost. So you always have that foundation to build upon, which is what you really need. And you need the sounds in your system. So we start. K. I've got to get the precise thing, you see. K, k, g, g, ng. K, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. Da, ta, da, da, na. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Right, one more time from the beginning to there, because it's quite hard work. We'll break it down first and we'll just make sure you can do the first two families. G, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. One more time, k. K, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. Back to the first. G, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. K, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. Close eyes. K, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. Slow it down, closing eyes. K, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. One more time, keep eyes closed. G, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, ny. Bravo. So what's the first family? Don't look at the board, try just look at me. First family is K, k, g, g, ng. Second family is
Ch, ch, j, j, ny.
Yes, uttamam, no problem. Now, Third family. Ta ta da da na. Ta ta da da na. Ta ta da da na. What's the difference between third family and fourth family? The tongue, only difference. Otherwise, you've learnt two families in one. The only difference is you're putting your tongue up for the first family, the third family, and you're just speaking normally for the fourth family. So the third family, da ta da da na. Fourth, da ta da da na. From the beginning, ga ka ga ga nga. Cha cha ja ja ya. Da ta da da na. Da ta da da na. First family, ga ka ga ga nga. Second, cha cha ja ja ya. Third, da ta da da na. Fourth, da ta da da na. First, ga ka ga ga nga. Cha cha ja ja ya. Third, da ta da da na. Fourth, da ta da da na. Second, cha cha ja ja ya. Third, da ta da da na. Fourth, da ta da da na. First, ga ka ga ga na. Third, da ta da da na. Second, cha 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 na. First, ga ka ga ga na. Fourth, da ta da da na. Amazing, yes, yes. Now we're ready to add in the fifth. So we have ga ga ga, cha cha ja ja nya, ta ta da da na, ta ta da da na. Pa pa ba ba ma, pa pa ba ba ma, pa pa ba ba ma, pa pa ba ba ma. Yara lava. I'm just trying to give you that to make make musical sense. So we're just going to go from again the pa pa ba ba ma, pa pa ba ba ma. One more time that pa pa ba ba ma. Yara lava. It's just a rest. Sha sha sa ha. Sha sha sa ha. You can just have a sha sha sa ha. Kshatrajna. That's at the bottom, we can't see it. Kshatrajna. Kshatrajna. Okay, now we need to put all of this together so it becomes clear. First, we do families, the first 5 families. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to go over that in the song a few times until the first 5 families are established. Then we'll add the bottom. I don't know, Jeff, whether there's a way to fit the whole thing on the board, or is that not possible? He's going to see, but if not, doesn't matter. So we're going to go through the first 5 families once more. Family 1. Ga, ka, ga, ga, nga. Family 1. Ga, ka, ga, ga. Now close your eyes, family 1. Ga, ka, ga, ga, nga. Once more. Ga, ka, ga, ga, nga. Open eyes, family 2. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Another time. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Close eyes, family 2. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Again. Cha cha ja ja nya. Family 3, open eyes. Ta ta da da na. Once more. Ta ta da da na. Close eyes. Ta ta da da na. Close eyes once more. Ta ta da da na. Very good. Family 4, open eyes. Ta ta da da na. Once more. Ta ta da da na. Close eyes if not already. Ta ta da da na. Ta ta da da na. Then lips family. Pa pa ba ba ma. Once more. Pa pa ba ba ma. Again. Pa pa ba ba ma. Pa pa ba ba ma. Lovely, you've got it. The whole alphabet complete from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ka ka ga ga na. Again. Ka ka ga ga na. Second family. Cha cha ja ja nya. Again. Cha cha ja ja nya. Third family. Ta ta da da na. Once more. Ta ta da da na. Fourth. Ta ta da da na. Again. Ta ta da da na. Fifth. Pa pa ba ba ma. Pa pa ba ba ma. You've done it. You've learnt your whole alphabet apart from the few additions. Now we try without. Some of you are already doing it without looking, but those of you who are looking, even secretly, try and trust that it's possible without looking, because trust that the flow will take you. The sounds move naturally one to the other. We'll just trust. What we're going to do is what we just did 3 times. So we're sounding each family twice, 3 times. If you get bored or you zone out, it doesn't matter. But some of us will be holding that for 3 times and you can come in. All 5 families twice, 3 times. Okay? Ka ka ga ga nga. Ka ka ga ga nga. Cha cha ja ja nya. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Da 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 na. Ta ta da da na. Ta ta da da na. Pa pa ba ba ma. Pa pa ba ba ma. Ka ka ga ga nga. Ka ka ga ga na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. 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 Ba 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 ma. Ba 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 ma. Ga 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 na. Cha ga 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 na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. 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 Ba 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 ma. Ba 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 ma. Ka ka ga ga na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Da 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 na. Pa pa ba ba ma. Pa pa ba ba ma. Once each family, all the way through, no frowning. We don't think so hard, like, even if it comes out wrong, just zone into the sound. Doesn't matter how it comes out. It's like you're in the Calypso beach, like something that will make you more relaxed. Okay? And you're just trying to express the sounds of creation, but you don't want to speak a language because you want to go back to your roots, like. So you're just like, ga 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 ga, oh yeah, like that. You're just feeling it, There's nothing else you need. You don't need the words. You just need the ingredients. And it's like you can get drunk on this. Ka ka ga ga ga. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Da 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 na. Ba 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 ma. Ka ka ga ga na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Da 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 na. Ba 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 ma. Ka ka ga ga na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Da 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 na. Da da ba ma ma. Ba 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 ma. See, I needed you there to be with me, but it doesn't matter. Now I think you know it because you were on it there. So you've got the 5 families. First, throat. Second, palate. Third, cerebral. Fourth, teeth. Then to a 5th, lips. Now we do the semi-vowels. We just add the semi-vowels to our song. So we've just come from the lips. Pa, ba, 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 ma. Yara, lava. Yara, lava. So we go from pa, ba, 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 ma. Yara, lava. Ba, 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 ma. Yara, lava. That's it, you're just like blissful on the beach. Pa, ba, 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 ma. Yara, lava. That's it. Now we're going to go from the beginning, just one time each, from the beginning to the semi-vowels. Then we'll add the next one. So we have ka, ka, ga, ga, na. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Da, 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 na. Da, 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 na. Ba, 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 ma. Yara, lava. Got it. Now we add the sibilants. Sha, shra, sa, ha. 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 And then we only have one more line, which is very hard to see, but it's kshatrajna, kshatrajna, kshatrajna. Sounds quite Russian. Kshatrajna. That's it. So let's go from the lips family, family number 5, through the semi-vowels, through the sibilants, and through to the final conjuncts. Then you've done it all. And for those watching this after the recording, you think this is just taking so long on one thing, then your challenge is, say it without me, without anyone, just sound the whole alphabet. That's when you know you don't need to learn it anymore. But until then, you sound it until it's really in your system. So we have from the lips family, through to the semi-vowels, through to the sibilants, through to the conjunct consonants. So first the lips. Pa, pa, ba, ba, ma. Yara, lava. Sha, sha, sa, ha. Sha, tra, jna. Because it's the end, it's got to have a little flourish, so you have a bit slower. They're conjunct, so the sha, tra, jna. Yes. Sha, tra, yeah, you feel like you finished the thing. Now we try and sound the whole alphabet, each line once, without stopping. We're going to go right through, from. Just to clarify, can you tell me what we'll be sounding?
throat, palate,
Cerebral,
genital,
lips.
lips, central, and something else.
Sibilants, and then finally the conjunct consonants, the joined consonants. Okay.
Cheating, we've done this.
You've done this good.
Well, I can remember it.
So we're going to go from the you see, this is what geeky students do. They do a course once and they do it again so they can answer all the questions. So we go from the beginning one more time. Actually, not once. I better not make promises I can't keep. But we're going to go from the beginning, one line at a time, once each line. Okay. Ka ka ga ga na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Da 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 na. Pa pa ba ba ma. Ya ra la ba. Sha sha sa ha. Ksha tra ja. Da 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 na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Da 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 na. Ba 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 ma. Ya ra la ba. Sha sha sa ha. Ksha tra ja. Ka ka ga ga na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Da 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 na. Ba 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 ma. Ya ra la ba. Sha 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 ha. Ksha tra ja. Now we're going to do a little experiment. This half of the room, one line. This half of the room, the next line. Dum, 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 dum. But I'm not going to join in any of it. Okay? Don't think that you have to, but you can if you want. So this half of the room start. Ka ka ga ga na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Ka ka ga ga na. Da 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 na. Pa 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 ma. Ya. Ya la la ba. Sibilants. Sha sha sa pa. Conjuncts. Sha sa ya. Now, because it's getting towards the end of the day, we should stand up, just so you don't make yourself fall asleep. But I'm going to stay sitting down. But you stand up. And then we're going to swap this time, just so you can experience standing up, purely for practice. And those of you at home, if you are following as well and been sitting at a desk a long time, it is good to try standing up, just because we do need change all the time. And in our learning environment, we need change. So one more time, this half of the room starts. The other reason we stand up is purely so you can feel your feet as you sound, because they're giving you the support through your feet, so you feel steady on your feet. And you feel, I've got this. It doesn't matter how it comes out, but it's okay, I've got this, you know. So you start with the throat. Ga 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 na. Cha cha ja ja nya. Da 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 na. Dental. Da 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 na. Lips. Ba 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 ma. Semivowels. Ya la la ba. Sibilants. Sha sha sha. Sha 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 ha. Sha 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 ha. So we know the lines we need to work on, sibilants and conjuncts. So we just stay standing up a little bit longer and we do the sibilants and conjuncts. Sibilants, sh, sa, ha, sh, sa, ha, sh, sa, ha, sh, sa, ha. Then conjuncts, ksha, tra, jna, ksha, tra, jna. So this group, the sibilants. Okay, keep going. Sibilants. Once more. And this group, conjuncts. Ksha. Okay, have a seat, and we now know we need to do it all slower. But do stay standing if you want, completely. If you feel standing's better for you, just stay standing. We just need to do the whole thing slower, because what that little exercise brought up doing on your own is that panic sets in. So we need to just slow it down a little bit so that that doesn't happen when you're at home. So we have k, k. We'll make it a lullaby because you're going to bed soon. So k, k, g, g, n. Cha, cha, ja, ja, nya. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Ta, ta, da, da, na. Ba, 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 ma. Ya, ra, la, ba. Sha, 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 ha. Ksha, tra, jna. What was that last line? Ksha, tra, jna. Now, ksha, tra, jna. Ksha, tra, jna. Yeah, that's fine. You can get away with that. Because there's many ways to pronounce it. But now what we're going to do is just an exercise. And for those of you at home, this is a very important exercise, because when we're watching these things at home, I know from experience it's easy to sometimes see an email flick up on screen and read it whilst watching or listening to the lecture. But we don't do that for this next exercise, no matter what notifications pop up on our screen. And for those of us here and at home, the key practice for this next part is listening. Because there's an art of listening, and we often want to be understood in our lives, and sometimes we feel people don't understand what we're saying, what we're trying to get to them. And if we can learn to listen, not think ahead to the next line, but really listen to the line we're sounding. I know this is asking a lot, because for some of you this is the first time you've ever sounded this. It's an exercise of trust. To really listen to the line you're sounding, and in those pauses, like k, g, 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 ng, let that be a pregnant, silent pause, not a going forward to the next line. Just let it be. Those pauses in between, that's why they're there. Give your mind, brain a rest. So we're just going to go over this one last time, but letting the listening be a practice. Listening to the sounds gently, no criticism, just listening. So what we'll do is first I'm going to sound the whole thing and you can just listen. Then we'll sound it all together, the whole thing. K, k, g, g, ng. Ch, ch, j, j, nya. T, t, d, d, n. T, t, d, d, n. B, 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 m. Ya, ra, la, va. Sh, sh, sa, ha. Ksha, tra, jna. K, g, 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 ng. Ch, j, 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 nya. da 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 na, da 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 na, pa pa ba ba ma, ya ra la ba, sha sha sa ha, sha tra ja. Tamam. You've got it. So now you have the whole alphabet. If you, obviously, to carry on studying Sanskrit, it's great just to have that as the basis. So now what we do to finish with is just check in your books the sounds that we have done. They're in Roman. So today we learnt to write 6 forms that you circled on that page. And obviously if you want to do this in your own time, of course you can easily just learn yourself from this book. But in this study course we learnt 6 sounds and how to write them. We learnt a, o, a. So you could read and write those 6 forms in Devanagari or Roman script. But we learnt to sound all these sounds on this page in Roman script. Remember we learnt a, I, u, r, and then there's that one that hardly ever comes up, but if it does, r, that one. And then we learnt a, I, o, a. It's all on that sheet that was sent to you in the email, all on there. So we learnt how to sound all of them. Then, turning over the next page. Sorry, before we turn over the next page, this is key because it will help make it easier with the book. You see at the bottom of your handout that you had in the email is the Devanagari number system. So you could simply see that it's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, but in Devanagari script. So if you use those numbers, you've now got that sort of code pattern on your handout. The reason why I say that is because the pages are numbered in Devanagari. So if ever you get stuck with the pages, go to that number system that's at the bottom of your handout. That has the numbers at the very bottom in the Devanagari script, so that when you're looking at the pages, it's clear. You can refer back to that number system, and obviously you could practice writing that number system out. You don't really need to be taught it, you can just look at it and copy the forms. But it's at the bottom of your handout. You've all got it, haven't you? So you see, if you look at that number system, check number 2 and then check the number at the top of this page and check it's the same. You see? Number 2, page 2. So we're looking at page 2 of your book. And page 2 of the book has the whole alphabet written. And obviously in your own time you can learn this. But we haven't learned to write the consonants yet, because we're going to build this up gradually. We've got another class next week, because it's important with Sanskrit study to really get each step established. So if you go away from today being able to sound all of this correctly, sound is key. So we learnt k, g, g, ng, ch, ch, j, j, ny, t, t, d, d. Oh, they haven't put the dots. You can't see them. The print is a bit faint, so you can't see the dots, but there should be dots under there. So if your print is faint, you might have to add them. T, t, d, d, n. Some of this book might be funny print, because as I say, in India, it doesn't matter. Writing is immaterial, so there's often countless mistakes in books because writing doesn't matter. It really is about the learning from the teacher. So you just have to forgive it. There will be quite a few, most probably typos. But that's not the point, you see. It doesn't matter. The point is you know it. So you've got that sheet. That's why you've got that sheet, to show you the transliteration, how it should be. And we learnt t, t, d, d, n, and then we learnt p, p, b, b, m. We learnt to sound the semivowels, y, r, l, v. We learnt to sound the sibilants, sh, sh, s, h. And this book doesn't give the thr, but that is one of the conjunct consonants. You know, we learnt ksha, thra, shnya.
Yeah.
This book doesn't give the thra, but that is one of the three. Ksha, thra, shnya. This is simply highlighting there are thousands of methods of learning Sanskrit, thousands of methods. And each book, like this book is one of many, so each book you use will have a different way of putting it. So you just have to get used to that, if that makes sense. There'll be different ways of coming to it. But this book does mention, you know that sound on your sheet, you see that green man on his own, that one line, which is r, tongue back and up. There, that's mentioned there, that r.
That's la.
R, not l normal, but tongue back and up. R. L with a line underneath it. And they haven't put the line underneath in the book, but it's missing. But that's that sound. R. It's not l, but r. And you won't really come across it at
So
the
the one
moment.
the up, I mean, it's kind of looks like an 8.
8, that's it.
Lying down
Yes.
8. So
yes.
that is
R. So that's what we've learned today. Does that make sense, what we've looked at today? We've primarily looked at Sanskrit in Roman transliteration, so you understand the dots, the lines, the dashes. We learnt the whole alphabet, vowels and consonants, semi-vowels, sibilants, conjunct consonants. We learnt the whole thing, but sounding it using Roman transliteration. And we learnt to write 6 vowels, a, o, ow, ah. Any questions? Clear?
Is ra a vowel? You know the one that you said we would barely come up, but is that a vowel as well?
The yara lava.
So e, u,
Oh, vowel. Yes, vowel counts as a vowel. Have that. It's like a tiny is sound next to it. E, u, e, I, o, ow, And if you need to go over those songs, obviously the videos you'll have, so you can go over it for practice. But we'll move on next week. But as I say, really, I'll carry on moving on till the cows come home. But what I'm trying to say is really let this settle. That's why we need to keep it simple. Don't think, I've hardly learned anything. Look, this is like 1 page and I want to learn this whole book. Because if you don't keep it simple, if you don't have that foundation, you just can't go ahead. You need it. You need the basics really firmly established. And you can't think with this language, just because it's basic alphabet, I don't need to bother. I want to get to the good stuff. Because when you get to the good stuff, then you'll fall over all the time. So really, if you are wanting to study Sanskrit fully, make sure that alphabet is part of you. Writing secondary, but make sure that sounding is part of you. But if you want to practice writing, as I say, no homework for this. This is completely optional. But if you wanted to develop writing, simply be able to write those 6 sounds we did with no help, no looking, so that I could ask you next week, and be able to know what they are. So if I said you can write o, in any order, and you can do them. Okay. So then we'll come to a close. And really, Sanskrit is very much about joy. So if you're not enjoying it, give it up. No, really, like, maybe that's a bit extreme, but why do anything if you don't enjoy? Like, doesn't mean you have to be happy all the time, but something that you genuinely gives you joy. And this language, that's why it's on your course, purely for your joy, for your satisfaction. So you don't have to get too worried at all or serious. Sanskrit is more easy the less serious you are. Really. And it makes it much easier to remember the less serious, honestly. Because I find I have to remember a lot. But if I just let go of trying to remember and simply sound for the sake of sounding, within a few minutes it's there. But if I'm trying, everything's tense, everything's gripping, everything's going against what's natural. So we have this juxtaposition of letting go, being free, and at the same time, whatever's needed will activate. The right muscles will activate for the right sound. The right mental faculties will switch on. It will all happen of its own accord, and we can just watch it all. So we'll close eyes and just notice the effect of all these sounds in the whole body. You've let the body have a little sound bath. Paramatmane Namaha Iti. So travel safely and enjoy your sounding. This is the biggest class we've ever had. Normally it's just me and Ajanta. And Dr. Deepika. Wow.
And by the way, if you're here to, it's impossible.